Greetings, welcome back. Thank you for your patience and waiting for this episode. It has been a while, and I've been meaning to get to this, and I'm happy to be here. Been busy. That's okay, and there's always time to find to get back into a good story, and I enjoyed this story quite a bit, and I hope you are as well. Alright, where did we leave ourselves off? We have everyone set here. We have our needs taken care of so far. Really just meals at this point in time. And we also have our fishing hut. And that is over by the lake. And we are sitting still in spring. Now, as I recall, we were working towards getting ourselves established here. And that I ended up making an initial decision to build in a certain area, and then didn't really enjoy it so much. And that's why we are here. And look at that. Perfect. And we only have 63 rock, which is not bad, but it's not good enough. So we are going to need a bit more. And it's going to be really helpful for us to start to expand what we have. Actually, thinking on that, it's going to be helpful for us to start thinking about what we can expand into for our village and villager work. Now, pretty sure that we are not at the point that we can build a mining hut, which would be super handy. Man, we're almost there. A hunter's hut would be good. Getting fur is not a bad thing, and it wouldn't be bad for us to continue to progress ourselves forward and consider what we have in our village. And knowing the shrewdness of Kuroi-Ran, which I believe is the right pronunciation. I've had to double check it, and I am honestly using Google to translate because I don't really have another method to go with, and I think I'll have to see what I can do. But if anybody knows Japanese better, I believe Kuroi-Ran is the correct route I should use. Koku-Ran is the other version that I had found when I was looking it up, and I've noticed that hasn't come back up again when I tried looking the pronunciation up, so it seems to me that perhaps that's not the right route to go, and perhaps that's not the right pronunciation. So by all means, if you know better, please do inform. I'll be grateful for that, because I want to make sure I'm pronouncing things right. Alright, well, considering what we know of the area, as in we know that this area is so far safe, and having traveled here with Auntie, hoping to be free from the conflict of our province, this area seems so far to be tame and limited in the amount of destruction. And then of course we wander right into Sosogi and see that it's been burned down, so clearly soldiers have been and are in the area. And it is a problem, and that we need to be mindful, and that we haven't really freed ourselves from the problems that we have left our previous province on. Now, in her previous province, Orchid would have been considered someone of higher state, mostly just because father was a wealthy trader. What political power father had, she was never clear on, but it was very clear that father curried favor with anyone and everyone he could, and there were a number of times where questionable people would be in the home, and Auntie would be quick to find an excuse for her to have to leave, whether it be heading to school, whether it be saying that they had to do a journey, or just that it was a necessary time to leave, or that there was just any excuse that could be found to say, oh, we need to leave. And we would have a trip and have to travel away, and father would just be left with his people he needed to entertain. And from this, oh, that's a higher quality tree. Yeah, I see. And father would, of course, entertain these people and throw, wouldn't be parties at the time, but celebrations that would be quite lavish and themed around making sure that they were happy in this particular area and happy with what they're seeing here, especially with father and what he can offer them. And for him, that really is all he cared about, is what he could gain and how it impacted his ability to build his, what he would consider a trade empire that was going to form. It would never work out. It would be unfortunate, and it would be a lesson that Ako, Auntie, would regularly tell Orchid about, which is that you can never curry the favor of the wrong people, and you have to be careful what these people are looking for, because they'll always take more. And if you think that you are getting more from someone because you're so shrewd, then you best be ready to see whether they are taking from you more than them, and that perhaps you're the one being fooled. So thinking through her lessons and always being cautious on how she interacts with people. So, let's see here. I'm trying to find a good place for us to build up some rice paddies, and I want them to look legitimate. Like, I want them to fit the environment. That's the goal here. Let's see what we can do to have that. Ooh, this might work. Because it would make sense for us to already be in the water. When 21, oh, so close. 21's not bad. We won't be able to make that field last a long time, though. It'll last us all the way until the late game. Well, you know what? Honestly, it's not bad. That will last us a good deal of time into the game. We keep getting one more plot per worker productivity training. So what I'm looking at doing is trying to make sure that our worker productivity training will actually pay off with that over time. I'm thinking that tree is going to ultimately block us from making that happen. No, it's just too steep. Now the tricky part is finding good places for this, and I do want this to look nice. Like, I want this to feel legitimate. Okay, so maybe we can do is do a little bit of that terracing effect, right? That could be good. Let's go for that. Down goes the axe. Alright, now, as we build up this first village, also want to be sure that we are kind of... want to make sure we're actually feeding our character. We do have to think about what we're into here. This area is problematic. The rulers who have been here and who have decided that it's their right to come in and squash peasants have also left this place completely ready for brigands and ne'er-do-wells to rise up and take advantage of a bad situation. And that is not going to stand well for Auntie. Initially, Orchid is not going to be very motivated by the idea of we need to help these people out, because for her, she's watched what people are like, and her examples of how people behave hasn't exactly been much of a, hasn't been very positive. Watching the horsemen come in with their smelly steeds and their sweaty people who are very proud of themselves on questionable nights, always demanding more and more goods from father. Her feelings on these individuals are not the most positive, we'll say. So her inexperience with people hasn't been the best at the early phases of her life. But here, in a lot of this, is going to be that growing up phase, this figuring out who she is and figuring out how she fits into the world. Figuring out how to help people free themselves from the problems of the area is going to start becoming really key to her. Man, so close. And there's just this bump right here, which is the problem, unfortunately. So maybe what we can do is we can work around this particular obnoxious bump. Oh no, it is actually that drop right there. Yep, look at it. It's that drop right there. Okay, well, I don't think this is going to look as good. And we might just have one rice paddy for effect over there, but I can probably get... Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. I was really hoping that we could get just the right amount into there. Yeah, that's going to be tough. Okay. Well, if that be the case, we're gonna end some trees. Alright, so my plan in our build here, at least initially, is let's get ourselves in a spot where we can fix up this region. The Central Plains is going to be a spot that we are going to reside. We're going to be here, we need to build ourselves up, we need to have security. Financial security is key. Safety from invaders or brigands and bandits is a big deal. We know that we have the advantage of time. We're new here, and at this point in time, since the army has only recently passed through, the people who are taking advantage of the chaos are only just starting to get established. And as Auntie will teach, if you wish to have a good garden, you need to start weeding early, otherwise the weeds will be in, and the weeds will be populated too soon, and you'll never keep up with them. If you want to have a good garden, a good gardener begins weeding early, and does not wait for the weeds to become established. Okay, now that's going to work for this area, but I don't love it. Yeah, look at that. Too much steepness. That's unfortunate. Okay, so what I think we'll do, let's do this in the sense that I want to do, we can do some of our own gardening too. Let's get as much in here as we can. Not enough resources. Good, that's a win. I was a little concerned that we weren't going to get, I was concerned it was going to tell me no lack of, or a lack of flat terrain, so we're in a good spot here. Alright, we need to get a few things established. And it's time to get working. As much as I'm sitting here talking about what's going on, I gotta get myself going. Let us build some planks. We'll say that we're getting help from people to get these going. Now, in my original story, this all of this like storyline comes from me playing Shogun, Total War, back in the day. So I kind of had this story made up from a southern province. Well, and when I say southern, I mean like southeast. So that was the area that I kind of envisioned this being, but this obviously won't fit as well in this particular storyline. So instead of that area, I need to make a determination of what province we're in. And obviously we want it to fit to what we're up against here for our storyline. And I'm seeing that we'll probably end up using an area near the Kaga province, because that is not far away from the Ikoiki rebellion, and I kind of want our stories and our different playthroughs to end up tying together in some fashion. I would like them to all just kind of connect. I think that would be rather satisfying and enjoyable. We'll try to do that for this. Ah, finally, stones. And I'll try to flesh out more of the story as we go. And just try to do details here and there, and smatter some story in as we go. You know, I didn't expect to see this much stone, so honestly I need to take advantage of this one here. Anything good ahead of us? Nothing standing out. Alright. Now, part of the deal, obviously, is during these days and these nights we're around the villagers from Sosogi who are being welcomed into here, which we will go through and have some of them living here permanently with us, and others will kind of imagine are the refugees that we find in the area, right? So that they are the ones who we are interacting with as we travel. And we just find them around the area. We find them at different bells. We find them coming to us in the different areas. So we will say that a lot of the villagers we are meeting are actually villagers from Sosogi who are coming back to need a new place to be. Oh, darn it, I had it right last time. Of course I did. Okay, darn. I was so hoping. Okay, so then that's going to be just us working that particular one. I'd like to get into that area here, but I don't think we can fit the space. And I'd like to do one more over here, but I think I'm getting excessive here. We don't need to finish this now. We can finish that later. Alright, and as we find these people from Sosogi, the stories we're going to hear, the sad tales of having to travel, being bullied by soldiers as they travel, is going to cause us to get stirred and ready to move, and really get us questioning what we're doing to help out, right? Like, what are we doing to help these people make it through? Because they're going to need us at this point in time. Clearly this area has a need for assistance. Clearly these people are worthy of getting help, and there's no one who's going to step in from the local area, since their interest is just to survive, and obviously they don't want to draw the attention of the army as they go. So this is where we will step in. Alright, and now it's time for rope. We'll make some more. I want to make sure I have enough bows. Okay, so in the process of these times, in the process of these interactions and people showing up and talking about where they were, where they've traveled to, we will, and this is a necessary thing, we want to do our best to hide who we are as we start causing trouble in the area. Because we are going to definitely cause some trouble in the area. Now, with our food situation, we are good. We should probably check our priorities, though. And I'm such a fan of the fact that you can actually click and drag now. I did not know that at all. Cooked egg is doing something for us, but I mean, it's really nothing. Or no, it's not. I didn't put anything in there. The raw fish. So this is a big part of where we're getting our food from. That's problematic. We don't want to do that. And parsley. Oh, okay, so we're eating a lot of raw. No, we're eating gobo first and foremost. I don't think we're in a good spot for our meals yet. Raw fish is fair. I don't want them to just make the fish, though. Let's get some of these cooked up so we can have this set so that some of our needs are taken care of there. We can make some of these to make sure that the people are eating cooked things rather than raw things. We want to try to play through the storyline as if we are being present for these people. And then obviously, this is good because we definitely did gather up a number of resources. This will help us make sure that our needs are being taken care of well, early, and effectively. Perfect. Now we have 2 bows, we have a number of arrows. I don't know as I have enough feathers to make more. Yeah, that would be the thing. Okay, so in the process of people traveling, we have come to find out that the people of Sosogi are still being harassed and that their things are being taken. And that these people are being harassed by looters who are traveling in from the mountain areas, the mountainsides. So that's going to be our first place that we want to go. We want to do justice in this area. Now, Auntie is not helpless, even though she's always acted like she was a simple woman and someone who is capable of very little. She is very good at obfuscating the truth underneath the appearances. And this has always led Kuroi-Ran to wonder exactly what and who Auntie is. And Auntie obviously teaching her the ways of the shinobi is a big deal, since clearly Auntie is more than she lets on. But what and why and how always have come to mind for Orchid throughout her time, trying to unwrap the mystery that is Auntie. And trying to figure out, and obviously the question of, well, are you actually my mother, and is this your way of trying to keep that a secret, has quickly been dispersed and has easily been remedied to say, no, of course not. And has been clearly proven that she is not. But still, oh, here we go. And this will be one of the travelers who, one of our people who, a new life. What's wrong with the old one? Nothing, it just ended. Oh, it's time to move on. Well, you sold your tiny house and a tiny field. Okay. Well then, why don't you come live with us? We need settlers in Nata. And we'll say that he ended up having to leave Sosogi, and that his story is a sad one, that he used to farm in the area, and that now he doesn't have access to it anymore. Now we just need him to have a job. Although I'll be honest, for now we don't actually need him to. Do I actually have a person here? I do. Look at that. Good. Now I can actually see and read the things they have. I'll assign you there, but I don't have... Wait, I do have a rice bag. That's good. See, this is a problem with not coming back into this very often. And now we did just add him late, which is a big deal. That's good, because we don't want to have added him too early, otherwise his needs would have been in before we finished the day. Ah, and this is a sad state of affairs. And this is definitely a thing that Orchid would be keen to want to do, since this is a Jizo statue, and Jizo stands for supporting the young who haven't made it into the world or who have a more challenging fate. Now, the best thing is that part of Auntie's training and all of these excuses to leave, to travel, see things, to be involved in the ceremonies, and Auntie was very quick to make sure that Father understood that Orchid was involved in the shrines, and that she was a part of a number of the celebrations, learning how to be a proper woman, and learning how to be a proper person for Father's empire, which Father would shrug off and simply dismiss as saying she's not a man, she isn't a part of my empire, she is just an accessory to it, which always would cut deep, and obviously there was always a wedge between them. There was never a strong, comfortable relationship. But having to go to the temple, or saying that she had to go to the temple, would give her a good excuse to travel, and a good excuse for why Dore needed to be away, which would actually turn into her and Auntie training. And training, in many ways, turned into learning how to use cover to your advantage, learning how to move through areas stealthy, learning how to find the right places to take advantage of a fool who's trying to harm you, or to take advantage of the situation to be sure that you come out ahead. Such as always knowing where the high ground is, always knowing your escape routes, and never putting yourself in a compromised position to get cornered, to be trapped, or create excessive risk to yourself. And obviously to be sure to recognize the fact that when a person gets hurt, they are immediately going to panic. And taking advantage of that panic, that is going to allow you to take care of yourself. There we are. Walking is tough when you have an arrow in your knee. There we are. And so, teaching her the ways of subtlety, but strength. Knowing when to apply strength, knowing when to apply subtlety. And that words are always the first route. Because a sword can get you out of a dangerous situation. But a sword, when there is one of you and many of them, one sword against many is not simple and does not come out well. Numbers are generally going to win. No matter how powerful a person is. The strongest samurai can be taken down by a group of peasants. Alright, well, it looks like a lot of the goods from the village are here, and they were right. So it seems, and they were also trying to capture animals for... some of these are animal cages, some of these are not. So some of our villagers, it appears, didn't come out to a good fate, and this is not right, and this is not the way of things. So, it is our right to set things right. And so, we get to sweep in like a divine wind and clear this area of these people. And the looters do have a keen eye for things, it turns out. But we'll just have to make sure that all of these wonderful things that they've taken, get back to the people who deserve it. Also the importance of never holding still too long, since a good archer will be watchful and waiting for that opportunity to strike. There we are. And obviously Auntie would have wanted her to use the bow more than anything else, primarily because it's the easiest way to stay safe and the easiest way to lower the amount of conflict that you have. How's that? To limit the amount that you have to deal with, since if I can, oh look at that, sake. That's one of the entertaining things. The amount of sake that we're going to find will be very entertaining. There we are. We want to be able to control how many adversaries we're dealing with at a given time. And that's most easily done when we determine how many people are coming after us. Now it's getting late, which is good, because now we can bring a little bit of chaos into their camp at night. It'll be a lot easier for us to handle them if they don't know where things are coming from. And a really good thing that we can do right now is take advantage of the fact that they're going to be drawn into their light for safety. And it's going to be just the thing that's going to draw them to their end. Now, obviously, since night is beginning to fall, I have the advantage of being able to move and reposition myself. Perfect. And we do want to make sure that we are constantly keeping our adversary on their toes. Ooh, free oil. I will definitely take that. Oh, the sun is setting. Now this is not where we'd want to stand. We would want them, I would want to have them having to look into the sun at us. That was a close one. Old school Rockman. Well, that's not going to work out well for your friend. Rock is a lot stronger than you are. Now this one will be a tough one to shoot just because we're trying from a distance. Oops, and he's not clever. Oops, poor guy. Well, that's just it. Use your terrain to your advantage, right? That's exactly what we're up against here. Use the terrain to your advantage. Okay, well. So far, our looter friends are just as clueless as we were hoping. They seem to have an awful lot of equipment considering. And these cages are not complicated. They're built out of simple materials. But these petty looters, there's no reason why a petty looter is just going to come here for people. They're here for goods. They're here for the free, for taking goods from others and profiting off of it and just simply living with their extra. Now what they're doing with these cages, that begs the question of what more is going on in this area. And I think that's going to allow us to lead into how the storyline's progressing. That this is clearly more than just looters here. This is coordinated. And yeah, there is a looter leader, sure, but these looters clearly have a goal in mind, and it involves the people. Okay, well, shoot. One of these days their paths will be a little more effective. No, I guess we'll just say that we found a very clever place to stand, and that they couldn't actually see us well enough to know where to go. And I tell you what, I do love the amount of free oil that we're getting. That'll take care of our heating needs rather nicely. I thought I saw it saying something. Yeah, there it is. Now this is a different way of taking this area down. I generally go straight at the main boss, and I just kind of take him out and then slowly take out the camp afterwards. So this is a a little different for me. I've decided to take a different pathway. Now, shinobi, obviously, are not necessarily trained in combat, and that's not something that Kuroi-Ran would have known initially. So for her, discovering quickly that Auntie is letting her know the ways of the shinobi, when she finally figures out that shinobi aren't actually trained that much on combat, that brings into the question of, well then, what exactly is Auntie? Because knowing how to fight is one thing, and shinobi are trained in how to get information, and their goal is in information gathering, in the manipulation of people and ceremonies, so as to fit in to any situation. So clearly Auntie is more than she lets on. But that's going to be a theme of things as we go. And it's going to be a lesson that she teaches to Orchid throughout. Oh darn, that was unfortunate. I thought I had him. Oh yeah, I should get used to the dodge. I do love that they do the sideways pathing sometimes, which is good. There we are. And the idea of being subtle and fast, always first. Powerful second. Power comes from the execution of technique, not from brute strength, although it can. It's just that power well executed is more effective and has a greater impact when it's executed with talent and precision, and not with just brute strength. Alright, well let's clear this camp out. Is that just calabash? Ooh, it's a calabash water bottle. And as you may have seen in the updated video for beverage needs, which thank you again for pointing out that issue, I'm not sure why I didn't consider it even an option. I think at one point it wasn't constructible, and I just for some reason had a mental block in my mind about how you can't use it, so why bother with it? And obviously it's there. And it's really powerful. Oh, that's how that's exactly what we're talking about. Now obviously sleep is important, and we would like our character to sleep, but this camp needs clearing, and this is the best time to come after them, because they are clearly growing content and complacent in their camp here, and that they're just used to winning at this point. There hasn't been any resistance. There hasn't been anybody coming to take from them. It's just been all boom, boom, and win. They just head into areas, take what they want, and the peasants can't do anything about it. And look at that. Another one of our friends finds the light of the lantern to find comfort and warmth. But it only brings death. And an easy target for us. And here we are. So far, we've done a good job of clearing this area out. And it's a beautiful night. The moon is definitely on our side. It'll provide us with that little bit of extra light we need when things are a little tricky in trying to aim our shots. And there's our final concern. Now, the best thing that we have for us is that he clearly is proud, standing guard over his loot, barking orders to those around him. He doesn't know where we are, which is good for us. Now what we need to do is make sure that we stay away from light sources and get ourselves a space where we are not seen. We don't want to give him the chance to know where we are. Once he figures out where we are, quite possible that he's stronger than us. I mean, the looters are a simple group. Chances are they are swayed by power in the most raw form. Oh, with this guy. Oops. There we go. Okay, oop, that's not the best. There we are. And let's see where he ended up. Oh, he's already heading back. I thought I could hear him behind me. No. What we have on our side, too, is the advantage that we've already cleared this camp. There we are. Now, since he has already seen us come from the other way, let's give him a little more of a surprise. Let's make him wonder what's happening. Perhaps he'll start thinking that he's surrounded and he'll flee. Oops, well that didn't work out well for me. Thought I could jump over that. Now, he's gotten a view of us. We'll keep out of the torchlights, just barely. So he's got an idea that there is someone here. And all of the training is going to pay off for us. All the running, all of the knowing how to jump, when to jump, where to go, how to take advantage of terrain. That's gonna be helpful. Now, what we could do... Ah, that's not good. Oop, I was hoping we could take advantage of that there roof. Okay, what we need here is to drink some tea. Because having a little bit of our stamina recharge. Poor guy. Brute strength is fine, but if you don't have a balance of strength and endurance, then you're not capable. So we'll say we wore him out, tired, not able to keep up with us anymore, and that allowed us to end this battle. Poor guy. Alright, and now we check the camp and be sure that we've taken all the things that the people need back. A lot of simple things, a lot of just goods from the village. But again, something more is clearly going on here. There are cages for people, cages meant to take people. I think I'd like this hat more. Oh good, now you can swap clothes quicker. A good amount of money, that's all. That'll do some good for us. Will allow us to help out people around the area. And another copper yari. That's okay. We already have one, but it's okay to have another. Alright. First camp down. And a good place. Good place to be. Now, somebody did point out to me that if you follow this all the way back, you will find a little bit of treasure. Let's go for it. And thank you for that tip, by the way. Also helps us get more arrows. There we are. Check it out. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. That's simply amazing. Okay, well, I think we can leave behind. We can drop the... We are going to need to repair those. Oh my. I mean, oh my. That's pretty much amazing. Is there anything else I can do? This one, I don't think we should. Oh, I can't. Okay, I can hold T to drop, thank goodness. I can get rid of that. This shovel is about to break. Oh, we don't need that. Oh, I see. Yep, need to put a few more things in my inventory slots. There we are. That's a big deal. Like, that's huge for the start of the game. Okay, well, look at that. We have managed to clear out the first of these areas. And now it's time for us to do more. Time for us to, well, it's time for us to travel home and rest. That's really what it is. Let's see what we've done. We just need to do the bridge project. And then we'll be set. We also have a small bridge to do there as well. So we are at a point where we're ready to build up our first two major projects and then expand. Now, traveling home is going to be, I hope, simple. We'll find ourselves a pathway and head back. We'll also find feathers while we're out and about. This will be perfect for us. Oh, darn. No more space. Anything else that we can just be done with? Well, I mean, what is the point of carrying one arrow when I could easily have more food? There we are. We have the shrine to fix here. We have 2 bridges to finish up. And now that we have our people getting logs for us, we should be able to do these projects and make this area reborn. They had a cooking pot there. To home we go. Already gathered up a number of things here. My inventory is overloaded, so we are not going to bother with any of the items here. And then we'll have to listen to the stories from our people who have been scattered by the soldiers coming into our village and wreaking havoc. We'll have to hear from them where the next areas are to help out at. Because for now, we're going to keep our progression going naturally through the storyline, so I'm not just going to rush all the way to Iwasaki and just say, oh yeah, we need to liberate Iwasaki, let's go. Just because, I mean, yeah, it will happen over time, for sure. But you don't need to do that right away. 7, road to renewal, rebuild the ridge, perfect. And that's it, we are on to that part. Okay, so we just need to do the bridge project. I have a little bit of charcoal on me now, so maybe we'll clear out a couple of these trees while we're here. Yeah, that's good. We'll try to clear out a couple of these. I just like having this area clean. And I feel, for us, it would be symbolic as a wrapping up of clearing out the old and letting the new start again. We don't want to leave this place with scarred memories. We want to allow this place to forge new memories and be able to restore and revive. Here we should be getting, oh, that didn't give anything. Nice. We can only hold 50 charcoal on a stack, so we can only go to that point. So we'll see what we can do to get there. Now, I wonder if we have room for this. Yeah, there we go. Unfortunate. So now we just have to figure out what we can drop to get. Man, do I have torches. Oh, wait a minute. I did not realize that if you just drop a torch on the ground, it stays lit. That's new for me. Huh. Okay, we'll definitely do that in our town now. It's a good light source before you have access to light sources. I like that. There we are. I'll obviously have to come back for that torch, because, you know, I'm not sure if Smokey the Bear existed in medieval Japan, but I'm not willing to find out. We do want to keep the garden for the woman from the village, our herbalist, who, for whatever reason, Auntie seems to at least have an ability to talk to. When they first showed up, there was a strange spark of familiarity between the two of them that was initially not easy to notice, but then clear with their interactions. And even more clear once the remedy was made and it was clear that Auntie makes the exact same types of things as she does. This is very peculiar. Alrighty, let's get out of here. We aren't going to go to Chiome. I was going to go sell to Chiome, but that doesn't seem right. It's late at night. We would not wake the princess. We would not wake the priestess up at this time of night. That would be rude and not right of us. Oh yeah, we need a name for the first village. How about that? I'm going to leave that to y'all. Let's get, I'd love to hear your suggestions. What are your thoughts for the first? You'd leave your village, burn to the ground, all your fields. Why don't you come live with us? Welcome back, the Sosogi friend. Welcome back to our village. And let's give him a home, and then let's get rest ourselves. Ooh, I forgot to look what that bottle was. Just a bamboo bottle. Good news. Look at all the wonderful things we have to bring home to our people. That cooking pot's a big deal. There. Now let's check and see how our copper yari is doing. It is not good enough. I don't know. The bronze naginata is no good at this point. We can just leave those in our... We can leave those here for people to use once we get to that point. We're low on planks. We obviously need planks. This is such a big deal. I mean, it's such a big deal. We also need a soy field, so we do want to get to that point. Now, that does beg the question... Oh, what am I doing? Where did I assign me? Oh, do I not have a bed for me? I do have an improvised bed in the small house. Okay. So then that being the case, we should get to rest. And there's Auntie, of course. Now, it's not ideal to only get 4 hours of sleep, but you gotta get the sleep when you can. Perfect. Now, it's time for us to get some soybeans. We do need to make sure that our people are making sure to make good use of the season. I almost don't want to get rid of the fields here, or the flowers here. It's a very pretty thing to have. But we do need to make sure that we are planting, getting our soybeans up and running. Now, obviously, we don't need to go higher than 25, but why not? We'll go just one above, it'll be okay. There we are. Soy farming it is. Enjoy. And thank you for being a part of the village again, and for helping us rebuild this area. Speaking of rebuilding, season's about to end. It's time to finish the projects. So that's where we're at. Now, does anybody need tools? Are we okay? We're good so far. Obviously the grass is going well. Oh, you know it might be a good idea. You know, it would be really good is we get one of our sunken hearth workplaces so we can start making oil. That wouldn't be a bad idea. I think we can have her change to a different job, actually. Thinking on that. We do need some of these village structures. 200 coins, huh? Perfect. Good. Do want to make sure we have this started early. Oh, lack of flat terrain. There we are. Perfect. Let's get ourselves started on this. Actually, I think maybe we are going to keep her here doing this, just because with that I can keep up with the needs quickly. We need to build some small bridge projects, which means we are going to need all of the planks we can get, and much more bamboo than we already have, and a good collection of stone. I think also we can take some of our resources and we can head in to sell. Do have a good deal of things, but nothing worth selling at this point in time. Just a few odds and ends. Look at that. Nothing really to sell. Bandit clothes, we can sell these two things, that'll be fine. It's tempting to sell that, but that's really not worth anything. Okay, let's go. We are good on needs. Well, really good on needs, turns out. In meals, we're doing okay, even though we need to definitely figure out how we're going to solve that problem in time, since we have enough to get by for now, but I don't want them to be making all of the raw ingredients in the food. This is for us. We need to definitely keep our character alive. We could always do a little bit of selling of some of our goods. Let's see here, shall we? Must build a little bit of bark, because we'll just need it for later. And this is just so that we can get to the point where we are using, so we have the bark ready for the shrine rebuild project. Now, at this point, Jizo has been a very important figurehead in Kuroi-Ran's worship early on, but it's going to start transitioning. Well, at least Auntie is going to start trying to transition her into Amaterasu for that idea about divine right to rule. And I'm not going to say, and the storyline doesn't have her being as a person who's obviously royalty of Japan, that's not a thing, or even necessarily connected to the dynasty that will win ultimately, the Oda dynasty. I'll have more on that as we go. But I do want to connect her to issues between provinces, and I do plan to connect her to a larger storyline that is big in the wartime, but not a major acting part. I'm not just going to make her larger than life. It's still a large story, but it doesn't have to be larger than life, per se. Okay. We should be able to get by on that, and then we have the bamboo, and that is good. Let's just take as much as we can. Perfect. It's time for us to go finish our project. And that does mean that we're going to have to travel. There we are, with some arrows to defend ourselves. Obviously, aiding Sosogi and helping Sosogi to be rebuilt is a primary goal, but we do need to make sure that our Central Valley area is established. We can't let that go. We need to make sure that this is our priority right here. The new village is going to be the most important thing that we can do, is have a place for these people to call home. Otherwise, what will we do? We'll be left with nothing, and then we'll be easily exposed and easily discovered, and unfortunately, all of our goals, all of our wishes will fall apart once people figure out where we're from, what family we are connected to, and how that can ultimately be our downfall. We don't need people coming in to come get back and return us somewhere, or to claim and then say, well, if you are part of this family, then you are here and you'll serve this purpose. Ooh, is this soybeans? Yes. Okay, cool. But for now, not necessary. Unfortunately, more wolves. Now, I don't necessarily want to end up in a fight. Hoping that we can find our way in conveniently. There we are, look at this. Find our way in, indeed. Check our map. A shrewd person always knows where they're at, and an even more shrewd person is willing to look at a map to double check. There we are. Apparently there's going to be a little bit of a challenge in rebuilding our project, but I have an advantage. It is very hard to figure out where arrows are coming from when you're in the middle of a bamboo thicket. Now, Rick will be getting away from them, using all of this cover to our advantage. Oops, I wanted to run. Time to run. Oh, am I running back into the wolves is the question? Let's hope not. Now what I should have done is I should have brought that tea with. There we are. Okay, and that's the goal here, to get them taken care of bit by bit. Alright, 2 of them down. There's one. Now we just need 1 to go. There we are. Perfect. Oh, and they have a bow. That's good news for us. Maybe it's a better bow than us. They don't have a bow. Ooh, no ammunition left. That's not good. Gonna be a real problem for us now. See what we can do. Actually, what we, here they are. Oh, that was close. Whew. That was real close. Alright. Okay. I was a little anxious that we would end our story right there. That's really close. Alright. Now, it's time to get this special project started, because we can't exactly start looting the area until we have this set. And another hammer down. There we are. Now let's see if we can get all of this in. 6 more logs. Oh my. Whew. Now that's good because we've started on the thugs, and now we're aware of their presence in the area. And we only need 6 more of these to go and we're set. Then we will have rebuilt this bridge, and it will be a lot easier than what will happen to us in the next area, since well, actually more challenging than the Sosogi bridge, but we still have a long way to go for some of our other regions. And there we are. 5 workers though. That's gonna eat up our space and our time. It's okay, I think we have 6 this time around, so we should be okay. Alright, well, that was quite the momentous fight. Very happy with the outcome here, and obviously being injured is no good. And when we get back, Auntie is going to have many things to say to us about being cautious and not overstepping or not putting a risk to ourselves by deciding to fight in melee, since that's obviously a place for people who have practice and who have been in melees a lot. And obviously that's going to be a part of contention between the 2 of us, is that her thought is going to be, but I've already proven that I'm ready. I've already been able to take down these people. Clearly I can handle them. But it's going to be that idea that you don't know just yet how much it takes to be skilled in hand-to-hand, and that is where the most and the greatest risk is to you as a person. And it'll be one of those moments where we definitely see a little of emotion, the rare moment where emotion shows on Auntie's face, where it's clear that her major concern is not that Kuroi-Ran is not trained enough and that she can't handle herself, but it's more in the fact that she's not ready to lose her, and that from the start of their relationship to now, there has been a long building of trust, of a love between them that is familial, even though they're not family. Let's head back to the village. Alright, now you just need to avoid getting to the wolves on the way back. It is tempting to go see that other camp over here. Oh, oh my. I think we're gonna get a little off track. Yep. I'm going the complete wrong way. Sorry for the fast pan, but let's get us back on the road again. Now we've taken the camp. With that clear and with the bridge to our area rebuilt, we should be in a good place to get this area established and start our process of rebuilding our old village in a new location, rebuilding Sosogi for the people here, and also getting us a foothold in the area. This will be one of many, and this will start as a small outpost that will become a city in time. That's something I'm really looking forward to in this playthrough here, is that I really want to try to get this whole idea of a sprawling city out of this area. That's going to be the goal. Oh, that must have been a fox. Here, I don't think I really have. Yeah, I do have some inventory space. That's good. But no arrows. In the event that we actually come across a deer on the way back, it might not be bad to get some fur and start getting more seed bags and things like that. And work towards a tailor's shop, which will be good for drawing in some money. Oh, I thought I had that second one. I guess I shouldn't be going for the long range shots. Alright, we can chase it down at this point. It's already injured, so it'll be a lot easier to track down anyway, since it can't move that fast. There we are. And where's the arrow? Oh, I didn't get a right view on it. There we are. Okay, now we are coming up to the end of the day. Should make sure that our heating needs and food needs are set. It might also be really helpful for us to make a couple quick recipes so that we don't have people quickly taking and using up our raw ingredients to deal with food needs, rather than us having them take advantage of the other resources we have. I don't know, I think we did pretty well on this trip. We do obviously need to get to Sosogi and make sure that we have our work there. Totally spaced on putting that bucket in there. That's an oops right there. Let's get these things rotated through. And it will be worthwhile to do, oh, you know, is it worth doing the second cooking hearth now and getting our people rice? I mean, I will effectively be, that will be it, right? Let's see here. I mean, this could be the best. Ooh, get an item rice. Well, that's not going to be too hard. We should have. This will be it. We're going to be set. Now, we obviously don't have it right now, though. That's the key. This is good, though. Simple meal will be good. I should have looked at my own spreadsheet so I could know exactly what things I need for these. I also have a lot. Ooh, this is perfect. Because this will take care of a lot of needs. It's using fish, which we have a lot of, which should be okay for. And next season we can start on canola, so we won't need to rely so heavily on fish for oil. It's also worth the it's also worth considering the idea that we have a lot of oil from our work at our liberation. I think I'm going to take this tea with me. I am seeing that, yeah, look at that. We are set. And we'll go to heating because I'm pretty sure I haven't done this one yet. Yep, oil is first in priority order, which is a big deal. I'm going to disable these ones. I don't really want firewood to be used. Firewood's not efficient, but really the big deal on it isn't just the efficiency. The big deal is more in the fact that I want that firewood for making charcoal and other resources. 50 water, we can come back for that one. Now, when we go to Sosogi, I'll probably have to do some chopping of trees. And that'll be okay. It might also be good for us to go to Chiome and do some selling. It is also, you know, tell you what, let's finish up the small bridge project. You are probably, for some of y'all who are really into the idea of, look at your perk points, you gotta spend your perk points when you get them. I am, for some reason, I am an amasser of points, and I don't want to spend them until I have a whole bunch, and then I can get a whole bunch of stuff, and that's, for some reason, it's just what I love to do. So I'm not going to end up spending all my points until I amass a ton of them. And that's going to be right after we finish this bridge in Sosogi. That's the goal. We obviously do need more stone as we get towards here. And on top of that, it wouldn't hurt to get more bamboo, but we've got time. Oh, Chiome, I can't possibly sell you anything else, and that's probably for the better. But I certainly could buy a bunch of things from you. So, we'll come back. We can return. There we go. Small construction project. Just noticed that we're low on one of our resources. If I'm guessing, because I didn't look close enough, it's going to be logs. Of course it is, because we didn't bring any logs at all. And here it begins. Time to chop the logs. Alright, I'll just get all these chopped down and have it as a nice, quiet, just like, sit back, relax. We're going to be chopping trees. And there we are. Only one worker needed. That's pretty good. That'll be easy. For this, we now need 6 workers total. I think we have it. So what we'll do here, I think, what we can do with the time we have left, let's go through this area and meet the rebels. Might as well, right? We are here. We've seen this area. There we are. And, ooh, there we go. We have unlocked a rice seed bag. Okay, well, here we go. Let's do this. I don't want to be caught in a bad place. So let's do our first bit here. We're going to change you to working on Central Bridge Project. Ako is never afraid to do hard work. There we are. And then, we only have one person left. There we are. Let's get you. There we go. That should be it. We are looking good on health right now, which is an important thing. Oh, and oh, well, let's see here. Let's see what we can do to this person out here. You poor thing. Oh, this is gonna be tragic. There we are. No sense going right up and dealing with somebody up close and personal who has an advantage on us. We just deal with them at a distance. Or we hold all the cards. I wonder. Oh, darn, poor thing. We'll just take these things. Ooh, perfect. And some bronze arrows. I will not complain about having more of those. Right. And a little bit of loot later. Some food for our people. That's just fine. Is there anybody else kind of hanging around the shoreline? Because that can be a good thing for us. No, I'm not seeing anything really. And this is the gentleman who we can talk to. There we have it. Oh, you know, I said I was going to spend my points. And at this point, it's absolutely vital. Oh, we did. Of course we did. Okay, obviously, she is very versed in the bow, so we are not going to hesitate to have this. Stamina cost going down, I'm fine with taking some of that. I do want Sprint Attacker, because that is a really fun thing to use. Advanced Dash, yeah, of course. We want the things that allow us to do more. Durability, that's not bad. That could be good, because then our bows can last longer. Heavy attacks, damage is good. Parrying is a big deal. I do want to have this be a thing, like we should be really focused on our defense. There we go. And then let's make sure we are versed in skinning. Another thing that Auntie would have taught us is to get everything you can out of anything that you take. Reverence to the world. Oh, that's the name of it. Okay. Oh, it used to go all the way to Korea, huh? Okay. Need someone to conduct trade. That's where they come in. Riches, slaves, you name it. Stories you could tell. Okay, well, fun to know that there's a storyline behind him. And he was a trader, perhaps a pirate, back in the day, trading between China and Korea. By the sounds of it. Now there's a lot of rock here, and obviously we could take a bunch of seashells, and we could hope for getting pearls. That would be good, but we're not going to worry about it. Oh yes. And I did say we're going to spend points, and here I am still doing this. I do want to have the loot. Well, let's have all the loot. And this is a perfect place to do it. Let's see here. Meal distribution. I think we're going for crop. I want to see what we can get out of that in time. I do love the Zen Gardens that will be purchased. Traveler's Outpost is obviously happening, because that's nice to be able to travel around. This is... I mean... I don't see why we wouldn't take it. It seems silly to just let it sit there. We should obviously do that. Stamina cost lowered. Skillful constructor. Yeah, these aren't things we can do. Skillful miner. We'll need this in time. I'm okay with that one for now. I think we'll aim at having higher endurance. We might even just max that out. But at a -40 for mining, I think that's okay. We've only gotten one here now. This is big to me because I want to watch the experience just go through the roof. Buying prices are decreased. I don't think we're going to be buying a lot, honestly. I'm not worried about getting warrior experience, but we could get some more craftsman experience. It could be nice to have a lot of those points, and it helps early in the game to do that. That way we get the most out of it per time and over time. Oh, the large rock has been removed from this. Oh, very cool. I do love that there's the waterfall in here. Very, very cool. Interesting. Is it meant to be there? That's very confusing. That's an interesting graphic. Okay, we need to get going home. I'm afraid that I'm in an interesting place right now. Now, I'm curious how many levels we also got out of that. Oh my goodness, I could totally buy these things and just be set. Oh my goodness. I could buy so many cool things right now and just be completely set. Feathers would be nice. Stones that I don't have to harvest. I'm okay with that. We aren't gonna wear bandit clothing. It belongs here. The fangs can be used for decoration later. What can we do with that? Rope is huge. Not having to make rope, I'm okay with that. Is it necessary to buy it? Of course not. No, not even slightly. But I do want to just have the extras. There we go. And make a little extra cash along the way. Now for this, I suppose I could probably get extra veggies that we could just have on hand. I mean, well, we don't really have the inventory space. Okay, we're gonna loot this place next time because it is almost the end of the day. The season, I should say. I say end of the day, but it's almost the end of the day, which is also the end of the season. And I don't really want to be stuck out and about. I do want to start making our actual storage facilities too. Because right now we're just kind of limping along with the basics. Alright, we have a large collection of things. And I'm guessing, at this point, enough logs that we could easily finish this structure. Nice. Well, let's see what we can get done here. And of course I'm using that, you can press the mouse button, you can hold down the mouse button and press your left shift key, and it's going to deliver resources for you. So many things. There we go, that's nice. And there we have it. We still have one more structure to go in the upper area. And then I do believe we can call it completed. There we go. Chiseled stone is not something we have yet, so that is okay. Nice. And we also sit in a wonderful position where I can now make cooked rice. Very good. We also have water that we can put into our inventory. We can start really making more things. Yeah, I'd say we're doing rather well. This is a very good start for the first season. Beautiful. Next thing we need to do is have a plan for where we're going to put our food storage. And where we're going to put our tavern, our kitchen, all of those things. Forager's hut's in a fine place. I think this can go. And I'm thinking that we will bring our food storage up to speed right here. I think it'll look nice here. And with all the extra food with all the extra resources we've been gathering, we should be good here. Might be nice to have the beverage storage not too far away. Well, yes, wood storage is next. Well, but I want to get the beverage storage done. And why? I don't know. I kind of like going in that order. So, for our character here, getting this village up and running, having all the things in place for our villagers to make it a home for them is a big deal, because this is what's going to bring trade. It's going to allow us to do things the right way, and to create an empire that is going to last. Perfect. Okay, next thing is our wood storage. And I'm guessing that we are getting really tight to the boundary of seasonal changes. Here we are. Uh-huh. You go ahead and walk through there. I do appreciate the new look of this. It is nice. It does make it look a little more... This makes a lot more sense. It's unfortunate that it became a little more expensive to make, but it does look a lot better. Okay, that takes care of that. Now the only thing left to do is to start getting all of the stuff in the right places. It is not actually that important, but it is a nice idea. I don't know why I thought clay belongs there. Look at all the soybeans, that's good. Rice, that's good. Oops, I think clear mold counts as a general. And that should be it for our foods. Perfect. Then let's get our food in our food storage. Nice. And from there we can also just hold down E and it'll drop off all of the correct things in the right spots. Obviously sake is a drink. I believe we need to put all of those in there. Beverage storage. Yeah, it's interesting, but we'll do it. Yeah, it's stored in beverage storage. Perfect. And if you ever have a question, it's right there. It'll tell you exactly where it's actually supposed to be. Of course, the calabash water bottle belongs there. Ooh, those are foods. And oh, that's a food too. Look at that, missing things. Yep, general storage. Perfect. There we are. Alright, let's get our last bits of food storage taken care of. Beverage storage. And once we have everything proper, then we will have a village organized, ready to go. I feel like Kuroi would be very much about the idea of having things properly organized. I mean, if you're going to trade and you're going to have people coming through your village... Oh, why am I walking all the way over here? That was silly. This is a wood storage. I could have done the same thing with the other storages. I'm silly. Oh, dang it, another food. Alright, anyway. She would want things properly stored because when things are organized, things are capable of being properly traded, and when you're trading, you should probably know where your things are and have a good structure. There we are. I'd say we are now cleaner and clearer. That's good. And we don't have a tool storage yet, so we won't worry about that. Toss our go boards in there. And that is that. It's time to get some rest. And then we can move on to the next season. And let's do that together before I say that this is the end of this episode, just because we know we're about to have our seasonal change, and for it to be 2 completed projects. Now the next one looks exactly the same, so we'll save us having to see the repeat. Okay, and we made it to the Dynasty level 7, so now there's a reason for us to go to the monk. And Mir, oh, soldiers came. Okay, why don't you come live with us? Perfect. Now let's see here, what's our new Aki? Nice. Or Akai. Here we go. Now we have some things we can do. Alright, first and foremost, we need to assign our workers, and with the worker productivity bonus, we are now taking advantage of that field fully. Let's see here, we will do a land field, but unfortunately I don't have the right resources for it yet, so we'll just do that for now. Now I do really very much want to be sure that we are continuously getting the right resources. Although, what do we want to get? Because we have a resource here, right? We can start getting more interesting wood types. For now, I think I'm going to stick with conifer because of how many we can get out of it, and the fact that we just need as many of them as possible. Oops, that's not right. Did I just give Akko a generalized job? Let's change it. That was not the actual goal. Oh yeah, I just want her to be there. Okay. getting caught in between things. Here we are. Let's get this set. Now, making 210 in grasses is pretty good. Let's get you back to the farm. And I really would love it if there was a quicker way to be able to slide these. It would be really handy. Woodworker, we probably do still want to get fish because that's definitely worthwhile. We could start having somebody cooking at this point too. I wonder if there's anything worthwhile here. No, that's not what we want. 13 fur is not bad. I think we'll start with that. And we only have one of them. Okay. That'll work. We'll start there. Okie dokie. Now, from here, we are in a very good place. We have a few things left to do. We have a village to expand. We can now build a mining workshop. Okay? We're in a really good spot. Mining is going to be a big deal. Storage-wise, we have these. We can do tool. We can buy any of these if we want. We won't need the ice storage until later, but we will want to get there. And now we should now have the tea house because we just unlocked it. Perfect. Let's see what we got. We have premium deciduous and paper trees in this area. That's fantastic. And we have copper ore that could have been mined here, but obviously we don't have a village here. So our next issue is going to be resolving the mountain bandits and then moving on to Iwasaki. And we're in a good place by the look of it. We've already defeated a number of bandits and a number of thugs. The problem, of course, will be that clearing the camp is going to result in us defeating a lot more than 3 bandits and 1 leader. And then same story here. So it looks like we're in a really good spot there. And if we get enough villagers, we could even try to do a 3 in 1 season. That would be a lot to do. We'll see though. But getting the tools here and here, this is the big deal. There we go. I kind of want to get premium deciduous logs, so let's check on it. Oh, actually, no, I just want a manager job. If we get paper trees, we can start amassing paper, and they turn our logs for this become premium deciduous. So why don't we do that? Just so we can start gathering things. It gives us less logs, but I think maybe it'll be worth it. Why not? Let's try it. Let's give it a go. There we are, and it's also summertime, so there's a really good thing that's about to happen here, which is that we can harvest the lotus. And that's huge for our medical needs. What, this is new. Ooh, what's going on, Akko? Is there something I can do for you? Okay. You want some of the good stuff. Kaburuku. Okay. Okay. I'll do it. Of course, Auntie. Maybe Auntie has a habit that we need to address. Is there something I can do for you? Oh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, why not? Okay. Okay, it looks like I'm gonna have to gather some things up and start going around and doing things. So, I have some quests to take care of for our villagers. I'm glad that they added this. It does create a little need for doing things. I think this will be good too. We get some of the lotus. This will be good for medicines. Obviously, we know that Kuroi-Ren and Akko are trained in medicine, so we should be able to make use of these. Extensive use at this point too. And it'll be nice to have a good stockpile of medicines for the seasons to come, and the number of villagers that we're going to have showing up soon enough. And it can be a good way to attract people to the area so they know that they have safety and people who know what they're doing in the area. Because obviously, fleeing the dangers of conflict and combat, there will be injuries that need to be treated, and people are going to want to be sure that they'll be safe. This is one of the ways that we can be sure that we do. And we know the value of the lotus. Now this season we can also expand. We could easily expand us into the next village area with the next bell, so I think that's the biggest move next. But that requires us finding the temple Interesting. Land lotus. We'll take it. And one of our people busted a boat, so we'll go ahead and take the stuff out of it that was there and bring it back home. Alright, y'all. Thank you for joining me in the second episode. I apologize that this took so long to get to. Thanks for your patience. And the next one, I'm going to try to get these on the weekly. The goal is to have these on a weekly, and I think with these ones I'll try to have them out on, I'll have to figure out a good day for them so that I can be sure that I have a good rotation schedule between this and between the chill playthrough and Medieval Dynasty as well. So with this, I'm going to wrap up gathering the lotus in this area, because I just have to for some reason. It compels me. I must gather all of the lotus in that area. Good to go. Alright, that's a lot. We have 92 lotus root. We have a ridiculous amount of lotus seeds. There's definitely some mushrooms I can gather back there. Let's call it good. And... huh. Where is the issue? Your problem, buddy. Okay, cool. Free boar. Meals on wheels. There we go. Now we have some free resources. We have a lot of fur, which we have a worker spending their time on that. I just don't know if it's worth it. Okay, we'll put those there. And our food storage. Is there a food storage in here? Is the bevy storage? Oh, you know what? That's just interesting. That's just interesting. Let's make a food storage in here so we can get access to things too. Aha. There we are. Now I can just drop things off. That's how you do it. Nice to have the storages in a convenient, easy to get at place. I think it's time for us to get some more arrows. And to start manufacturing more arrows. Be nice to get a new bow too. Alright. Take care, y'all. Great to have you here. Until next time.